I'm here with the Justice Gang, Hawk Girl, IsabelaMerced, Mr. Terrific, Eddie Gathegi, and Metamorpho, Anthony Carrigan. Welcome to you all.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, Superman is on the poster, right? So he gets a lot of shine, but the Justice Gang in this movie, you guys have a lot of screen time. We learn a lot about you. How'd you prepare for the character?
Well, I prepared kind of in advance. It was interesting because I was also learning arms training and then swords training at the same time, so that was interesting. It was for two different projects, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think the wire work, there was a lot more than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain didn't put the two together, that if I was playing a bird person, I would also be flying. But
yeah, they usually wings.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I was like, they're gonna make me float, right? Zero gravity, obviously. But yeah, it was cool to see my wings as well. It was an amazing process.
Yeah. Eddie,
That's the great thing about being in a comic book movie is there are comics.
Yeah.
So you can, and they gave us a link to the DC database, so we had access to every single comic that's basically ever been made.
Yeah.
So we just did as deep of a dive as we wanted to do.
Big time. Yeah, I mean, for me at least, the costume, getting into the costume was, you know, I mean, it was intense. It was like 5.5 hours in the makeup chair, all, you know, prosthetics. So, you know, it was really nice that it was kind of a return to, you know, this real makeup, you know, not just CGI. But honestly, once I got in that wardrobe, you know, it really started to feel real.
Is this the first live action Metamorpho?
Yeah, it is.
How'd you take that into consideration in creating what I saw was a lot of sensitivity in this character?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I mean, so much of it is imbued in the script, right? I mean, like Eddie was saying, you know, that we have this database of comic books to kind of look at the source material and want to do it justice. But James Gunn's script is so good and has such nuance with each of these characters. So the blueprint's there.
Yeah, and Mr. Terrific, this is the first time, I believe we're seeing a live action Mr. Terrific, right?
A live action Michael Holt.
Okay.
There has been a live action Curtis Holt, but this is the first time we're seeing a live action Michael Holt.
Yeah, and so when you got into that suit, and I was so impressed with the mask, I mean, that to me was just so fly. What did you feel?
I felt like a superhero.
Yeah.
I felt like I was staring at someone who could save the world. It was very empowering. And then it was the manifestation of, you know, a childhood dream. So, I mean, I don't think the words have been invented to describe the level of joy of being a part of something like this.
Yeah.
I think terror and bliss together
it's
might be the closest combination of words.
Terror and bliss.
Terror and bliss.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so Anthony mentioned James Gunn, and he uses humor a lot. But there's also the complexity here. Sometimes there are moments that are heavy. There are moments where I'm watching the movie and it feels like I'm watching a version of news. And so when you're seeing all this together, why is this the Superman for now?
I feel like it's really balanced,
Yeah.
so they don't lean too much into one emotion or the other, but I really love how it centers on journalism, because now more than ever, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I'm listening to a lot of news, and it's part of like my daily routine, and I'm learning the value of it. And I think it would be really cool if some kids went to see this movie. They realize how you can be a superhero if you're intelligent, and you can save the world in that way, and maybe want to be journalists. Like that's such an exciting idea to me, and that's how I feel like it's very modern, because we're intaking it all the time on our iPhones and everything.
Yeah. And this is a world that, our world is a little bit on fire right now. And this is a story that really centers hope and being a good person. So I feel like it couldn't be more timely.
This is being introduced to a new generation of Superman fans, and there might have been some who expected an origin story to start at the very beginning at Krypton and coming to Earth. Why is this the point to start at in the story?
Well, I think we've seen origin stories for Superman and Batman ad nauseum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to bring the audience in right away, you know, start in the middle of the story.
Hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running.
And of course, there are some elements that are kind of hearkening back to the golden era of Superman. The dog is back.
Robots.
Yeah, robots. We saw Christopher Reeve and Dean Cain, and now we have David Corenswet.
That's right.
And so why is he the Superman for the moment?
I mean, have you met him?
I haven't met him, no, but I saw him on screen.
When you meet him, you get it. You
get it.
know.
What is it about
I dare
it?
you to understand this guy will be Superman one day.
Yeah.
And then it happens. He is the embodiment of this character.
He's got such a big heart. You get it immediately once you meet him. He's just a sweetheart. He's so down to earth, but he's a good dude. You know, it really shines through.
Yeah.
Very pure.
Yeah.
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 David, if you're listening, you know, we love you, bud.
It's very pure. Back to James Gunn and this kind of creating the universe of these characters. Are we going to see Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho back in stories and other places? You know, spill a little tea, something.
I'm not opposed. In this scenario, I'm not like less is more. No, I'm like, hey, give it to me. More is more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I grew up with the series, the JLU on Cartoon Network. Loved that. And then also there was a Superman animated series as well that was really near and dear to my brothers and me. And so this feels a lot more like that, I guess. And for that reason, I myself want to be involved as much as possible.
I feel like we're only scratching the surface with all of our characters. All the characters in the film, because we're starting to build a universe. So there's a lot of potential for new characters to be introduced, for us to be in different stories, to cross-pollinate. I don't know. It's a big, beautiful world out there.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Eddie, you've got Mr. Terrific. I've got the Green Lantern here. But
I like this one.
You like that one?
I like this cute bobblehead. What is this?
The
Wait,
Funko Pop.
can I hold your
Yeah.
child, please?
Yes.
I really want to hold your child.
Of course.
Thank you.
And Eddie,
Joey.
on my 8 o'clock show, I deal specifically with stories that focus on people of color, communities of color, and the representation of Mr. Terrific. What consideration was that for you in creating the character and for what you wanted to portray on screen?
What was extraordinary about this character to me was that his superpower was intelligence. So this is a character who understood that you don't have to be superpowered. You don't have to have powers in a universe with gods and monsters to make a difference. So there's a potential to inspire a lot of kids through this character. You know, my dream is that kids want to pursue science, arts, STEM more because they watch what Mr. Terrific is capable of doing in this film.
Yeah. And for those who are not lifelong fans of the DC canon or Superman, what's the draw to come out and see this movie?
James Gunn?
I mean, James Gunn.
Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Honestly, it's got everything.
And it doesn't really miss.
That was the draw for
Doesn't
me.
miss.
I liked Batman more.
Yeah.
I love James and his work.
James.
He's just got such a clear vision. And he's got a great team that helps him execute because they know him so well because they've worked with him for like 30 plus years. You know?
Everything great in life comes from imagination.
Yes.
And this guy
Exactly.
has an imagination.
And passion, too. He's got such passion. He really cares because he's such a fan himself. So he wants to do it justice, right? And this movie's got everything. I mean, it's got humor, it's got action, it's got love and heart. And I think it's a return to what Superman's really about, you know, back into the comics, you know?
Yeah. Well, Anthony, Eddie, Isabella, thank you so much. I saw the movie. It was great. Thank you for your time. Superman flies into theaters July 11th. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you, Victor.
Yes.
Can I have the toothpaste that you have?
Seriously, that's
I'll tell
a
you
$1 million smile.
I want that.
Yeah, we all want that, to be clear. Thanks to Isabella, Eddie, Anthony, and of course Victor for that great conversation. And we must note, Warner Brothers Discovery, also the parent company of CNN.